The superficial back line connects and protects the posterior surface of the body from the bottom of the foot up the back of the legs through the gastrocnemius, following the spine and ending at the brow. The postural function is to support the body in the full upright extension, or standing. It also maintains postural alignment between the tibia and the femur, preventing curling up into the fetal position. Its movement function, with the exception of the knee and toe flexion, is designed to create extension and hyperextension. This relies mostly on slow twitch fibers, endurance muscle fibers. The superficial front line connects the entire anterior surface of the body, from the top of the feet to the iliac crest, and from the pubic bone to the medial clavicle, and up to the sides of the head. Its postural function is to contrast the superficial back line and provide tensile support. Its movement function is to create flexion of the trunk and hips, extension of the knee and toes, and dorsiflexion. This relies mostly on fast twitch muscle fibers. Both the superficial back line and superficial front line work together for sagittal plane balance. The lateral line stems laterally from the midpoint of the foot up to the ribs and encases the internal and external intercostals and ends up near the ear. Its postural function is to mediate forces among the other superficial lines and provide stabilization for the trunk and legs to prevent buckling. Its movement function is to participate in lateral flexion of the trunk, abduction of the hip, and eversion of the foot, while also functioning as a functional brake for lateral and rotational movements. The spiral line loops around the body from the base of the skull, wraps around the ribs, and crosses over the belly button, or the navel, and then extends down the legs laterally to the arch of the foot. As well, it extends from the skull down the center of the back to the sacrum, as well as overlapping again from the ilium to the distal end of the femur. Its postural function is to maintain and recover balance across all planes, as well as knee tracking and walking. Its movement function is to create and mediate oblique spirals and rotations in the body. In eccentric and isometric contraction, and to steady the trunk and leg to prevent rotational collapse. What is unique about the back functional line and front functional line is that they have a strong postural stabilization functions in positions that deviate from the resting standing posture. They can transmit strain from the body to create a base of support and be used to provide stability and counterbalance for work from the lower limb. We can lengthen their lever arm to the opposite side of the body as well. You commonly see this when throwing a ball or kicking a ball or doing any overhead